Pyramid flashed up on his screen for just a second. And now they're going to see if they can try and push a little bit more into him. A bit of a rotation. NJR still in this power corner. There's nothing that can get him out in terms of grenades. So it's just going to have to be a bit of a flash push here. He's blinded, but there's nobody to cover it. A great smoke play. Grizzly has to dip his way in. Takes half of his health. A little bit more in damage. Uno gets caught, I think, by a shotgun pop. And Canadian pops off. Eclipse locks in with the kill onto Uno, leaving just the already sort of knocked around Grizzly. Over the double window, Pamba's technically down, but in a 3 versus 1 situation, 40 seconds, and the full read on where the player is, chances are they can probably get a rotate round to where Pamba is and get him back on the board as well. It's just down to see if anyone hands themselves into the fight here onto Grizzly. Nobody as of yet. They're holding their position. There might come a drop. There it is, saving Private Pamba. Oh, they don't even have the time. 2 minutes, though. What did he really buy? NJR just getting himself restructured underneath. Canadians having a flirt with the idea of the danger of the windows towards the west main hold, but they're still aware. Benja, I was going to say he kept himself out of eyeline, but then decided, nope, I want to see the stars.
Not quite sure if he knew exactly where he was or if it was just a good check by Benja with some quick response time. As Eclipse will fight back, it's Gorgona to drop. He took some damage on the way back out and will still be around the trophy side. A grenade gets tossed in, forces him out of his current position there, but eventually will still be picked up by the LMG of Sloth. And now 4-2 here for the side of Heroic. Should be an easy lockout.
Now Sloth, he is a player that can be a big driving force. They're looking over the back line here, and they've got obviously a gun that just keeps on going. NJR's down. I think that was from above. Potentially the angle. They're able to catch one more. Hyper gets locked out the door. Benja with a double. Hyper almost saw the tip on a player there, and I mean, it's a big problem. You lose that early approach. They're going for another grenade. There is a great play, and it doesn't quite get him caught. Hyper, huge. Grizzly finds Pamba in a response, but Canadian gets a very quick return. Benja at least finds some success with a grenade. 3 attempts, 1 accident, and 1 kill, and 1 sort of death from it, but it's Benja biting back. Suddenly, he's got a double. Suddenly it's a 2 versus 2. Uno is still massively injured, but you have the thermite alive. You have the kit. You have options. That's the most important part.
You also have that smoke canisters available on Uno to try and lock us some lines of sight. Of course, NGR is still available with a nitro cell package. He could just send over and try and deny Uno from getting that plan down in the end here. So pings are coming through. Some information is there on the side of Heroic, and a Canadian playing inside a blue and 1 all the way on the back pillar. These smoke canisters come in, but it's NJR with a double kill to lock it off. And DarkZero will find their second round.
He's been able to take this as an opportunity to get himself tucked in. They've also got that little box entrance swing round towards the entrance of the side itself. They're trying to get themselves a hold. They're trying to get themselves around the players, but Hyper with the cover once again is able to find a very clean take. Uno bites back. Make sure that it's not an unpunished trade. But now 20 seconds, they've got to try and find some punishment onto the site. Pamba is watching one angle, instantly covered down, but they know where that player is, and Grizzly can't really go anywhere from this. Gorgona's going to go for the swing up the stairs. They drift their way on by. They still have the vertical hold here. Eclipse might have everything to do, finds the first. An easy pickup, looks for the second, can't get it, but Grizzly is got by elsewhere.
To enter, not really the case, but he can definitely cover from that position. And with Uno opening up with these secondary hard breach gadgets, they also work in soft floors. It seems like Gorgona's aware of a flanker being out there. He finds a second kill, and that's Canadian off the board.
Well, that's where Canadian did his run out from before. He sort of still found himself in that territory, that turf, and as you said, the call and the ping came through. I guess they would have said, well, somebody's around here. Let's get a drone in position. Hey, that drone we got in position, it's finally given us a reward. Pamba, he's quite injured. Tucked in on the close window, hoping somebody swings. They do, but the other side, I said we wanted a little bit more from Gorgona, and, well, he's definitely found a bit more. He's got a triple for the round itself. He's put the body balance into their favor. They're going for the plant, but the cover is there. They can't quite get this kit stopped, and under all that smoke, well, it's a post-plant. The first one we got today, a quad. Oh, it's the ace for Gorgona! He said, I've got just a little bit more than a little bit more. Rogue is still droning out the exit. They're trying to find a way around with the opening that they've got down towards the plant, which is onto that, the most default of it. There's the drop, and there's a catch. Sloth, well, he was able to get the audio from the sound of the boots hitting the ground and made the rest of the body follow not long after. And JR, he was able to pick up a cheeky double at the end of the last time we were here, and with 30 seconds, he might be angling up for himself to stack up a little bit more. Eclipse, he's going fishing, he's going aggro, he's going for a reward, but now he's got to find absolutely everybody to have anything from this. The spray isn't his, and it is a flawless after the ace round and an even half. There's nobody in the bedroom that he can see either, so they're going to move onto this. The Gonsick could be so quick. They're just waiting for the call and the play around on that side. There it is. Canadian goes down. You assume the Gonsick comes, and there, the spray through the door itself. The pop, the burn, and he's suddenly inside the site. The grenade buys him a second. The second buys him one more. Sloth can't quite get the angle because of it, so he's going to have to swing wider and wider, but Pamba knows this and instead leans into the fight himself. There's a connection in E1D, and he just takes it. Sloth knocks it. NGR knocks back. A 3 versus 3 over the double window, but we have a moment of silence, which we haven't really had up to this point. Eclipse was held on this window. The push and the burn means, well, I can't really go through. Not without a presence elsewhere. It would probably be death. You can try and apply some pressure underneath on the side of Trophy, but with all the losses that have happened elsewhere and one more off the board, now they've got to see if they can try and formulate something. You can't have the confidence, because then it's suddenly a 3 versus 1 if the other player puts his head down to plant, and JR goes deep. And he's going to see if he can just catch the wing and the side, but nobody from Heroic is overextending. Less than 20 seconds left, and, well, at one point, Heroic's going to have a bit of a guessing game of are they going to go for the stick. They're going to go for the drive. There's Eclipse with 1. There's Grizzly instantly getting a response. NJR has 2 to find, but he can't see it. Benja tucked in. And for the first time this game, Heroic are in the lead. It's safer than they are, but once again, Heroic, they're playing themselves at arm's length. It's a game of trying to get this vertical control.
Oh, impact comes through, but it only opens up for the side of DZ. As Pamba now has a direct way into that top floor. One that is more safely here as Eclipse just spots the player prone. Sloth gets picked up. I'm not quite sure what happens there.
He was trying to go for a bit of a cheeky angle, but, I mean, as soon as you're in that position, they're lying down. There's a lot more of them that you can hit than they can hit at you. There's Grizzly. He goes big! He finds 2, gets caught out. NJR with a very important trade-off on the back there, but puts it into a 2 versus 1. The pings are in Uno's favor. They know he's coming up the stairs. It stays level. Roster in a very talented lobby of young gunners. Sloth is smoked off a little. NJR's going to go for the push here. Does he know? Yes, he does. Gets a very quick pick there against Sloth, who is absolutely lost in the smoke. Pamba's knocking on the door and gets an even bigger strike. Straight through onto the heart of the site. There's the spray over the top. Uno can't get the full connection, and there it is. Pamba, he's making that gun sing, but so's Benja. You talk about him over the top. The importance, the shotgun pop locked and ready to get it, but they've got the hatch open now. Eclipse, he's outside trying to find it. It's a big isolation between the 2 players. The worry is Eclipse is the one with the kit. He's got to go for a big rotate. He's got to see if he can try and offer some support, but only 20 seconds, and now it's just a Kim. It is a quad here for Benja. He's looking for the ace to try and match Gorgona from before. He knows that it's 15 seconds. The smoke is going to cover the swing round. There's still a mirror window, still some support they can offer. Benja gets his ace, the second for Heroic. And they are once again a round ahead of the rest of the floors to give them the comfort to go for the push itself.
Problem as well is that wall might be open, but there's still a mirror window that is looking right at it. It's not really going to be something that you want to go for in that moment in time. And with them now taking that first floor under control slowly, it's Benja that picks up yet another kill. He will go quite low, but he's still alive, still able to fight it with Eclipse now falling. Benja coming up to the top. It's Hyper to punish 2 of them and bring it to a 3-on-2.
Hyper, quick reactions there, gets himself a double and makes sure it entirely doesn't swing away, but 30 seconds. And once again, they find themselves in just 2 bodies of DarkZero trying to find the kit down onto the site itself that still needs a fair bit of work. They're looking for a bit of a hot drop here. The hatch is being smoked out. There's the cover. There's the close idea of that mirror window and the creep towards blue. A pop and a pepper and a swing round, and now we're going to see if they can get the plant down and behind it. The pre-fire onto the angle. They're baiting the fight. They don't need to. Sloth sitting caught by Hyper on a triple. There's a spray, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 1 into their favor. Grizzly just has to make the connection here with the kit. Throws the impact and goes for the rotate. Sees the first and finds a freebie, but it's a post plant. 1 versus 1, and they have Snowmobile open. It's the fight over wine. Grizzly takes a huge amount of damage. Hyper still has a connection. They're not entirely sure where he is behind the boxes. He's wasting time, buying as much as possible. It's open, it's swung round, it's dive and dodged and weaved, but it's Hyper that gets the cold one. Trying to call all of the cover they have. A huge sight line all the way back towards the default plant spot. Benja with the C4 is ripped, ready and waiting, but the reveal of the drone, well, that's the throw, that's the catch, but most of it actually goes against him. Benja suffers from Canadian.
It's not actually Canadian. I think it might have been a different angle, but he will still find a kill and the kit. It is now cold. There's no time for them to pick it back up. They need to go for frags here, Emmy. 20 seconds. Can they do it? That is the big question. Hyper looking through the bathroom. Knows that one is on the corner, but it's all him now. Is he going to be able to find any? Yes, 1, not 2. Heroic on match point. Heroic 1 round away from finding 3 points and potentially putting themselves into trajectory towards the towards the playoffs.
And there's still work to be done. The supply line on the backside is still locked in. There's a C4 that doesn't quite get the catch. They probably heard the audio. You saw them turn tail very quickly. The cover might come through momentarily. There's obviously still a couple of smokes in the pockets and some grenades, and Uno suffers on the wrong side of one of them. And there he's picked up NJR, a 3 versus 5. Gorgona creeping up the stairs. Grizzly saw the side of a player, but it's Gorgona that got the kill, and NJR that got one back. The spray doesn't get the full connection. There it is, just down to Benja in a 4 versus 1 for Heroic's chances here to continue. Pamba kills NJR for some reason, but it doesn't matter, because he finds the next one. The game isn't over. Escape routes, and, well, every corner you turn, there's a DarkZero face watching back at you. NJR's putting in some damage across the top. They have themselves the body advantage. They have themselves the stretch and the swing towards the site itself, and now they have one more. Gorgona is finally finished off by NJR from the long range here. The grenade is just going to tuck itself behind the chassis. No, it's not. Bounces off instead, hits a bit of the woodwork. Sloth, he's eyeing up maybe a surprise strike here. There's the concern as the body comes down the hatch, so he actually goes deeper and deeper. There is an opening above him, kinda. But if he's got unchecked here, this could be a huge blow. If he can get the kit down cold with only 15 seconds, well, it could win the round. The swing comes through. He didn't know he's there. They're going to get the stick slightly elsewhere. Uno's going to see if he can swing his way around. Grizzly's trying to fight his way back into the site. The impact gets it down onto 1. They can't see the second. DT! They are 1 round away. Around the blue stairs, has some pings from the players on the approach. Uno is doing some of the busy body work, as they're just clearing out more utility here to give them the stretch onto box. There's a lot of pressure that's coming around under Canadian here, so he's thinking about striking, but 30 seconds are all that's left. The pings on the player beneath there, making sure they have that covered and watched from the hatch itself. That is going to try and force some of the play. Uno, he's got himself right on the door of the site. There's pings of a player, but there's one on the second story. He doesn't know. He pulls out the wrong bit of utility at the wrong time. 11 seconds, and the kid is cold. They've got to try and force their way through onto the site. It is just down to Gorgona. He's out of time. The kid is out of reach and out of range. The Banshee screams one thing: DarkZero are going to playoffs! There it is.